There's something powerful about paying attention to how you feel around certain people, to what you've been tolerating, to what you actually want in love, to how the woman you want to become reacts in certain moments. This kind of awareness doesn't happen overnight, it builds over time. And the more honest you are with yourself, the more aligned your life starts to feel. It all starts with noticing the patterns you've outgrown, noticing the beauty that you have right in front of you, and noticing what you no longer want to tolerate in your life. And instead, noticing how you want to feel and how you want to be in order to bring in the love that you desire.
This morning was so powerful because I started noticing a pattern that really has gotten me to be grounded and intentional in my life, and that's the art of noticing. I was watching my baby crawling around the floor and pivoting through walls and through the door of my bedroom and the bathroom, and then my uncle called me and I was like, I'm so proud of my son for just like exploring and playing and noticing the things in front of him. And I just love sitting down or getting ready in the morning, watching him and figuring out things on his own. And then my uncle was like, I love that you notice that. And I've noticed that in the season of motherhood, I really have taken the time to notice how the first time that my son paid attention to his hands and discovered his feet. And it brought me to a full circle moment. Whether it's in motherhood or in relationships, we miss so much when we don't notice, when we don't stop to notice. Back in my single days, I was doing everything right. I didn't want to come off as too strong. I was careful not to come off as like too emotional or too needy. I kept the peace even when my boundaries were crossed. I was so focused on being the perfect gal, right? Like I was doing all the things I wanted to grow in my career. I was making YouTube videos. I was working out. I was having a social life. And I believe that it's so powerful to take time to do all the things that you want to do, especially in your 20s. I wasn't focused on who is it that I wanted to be. I was so focused on saying the right things, on doing everything so that I could be this really cool, confident, courageous woman. But I realized I was stuck in patterns. I was shrinking myself so I wouldn't come off as needy or desperate on dates. I wouldn't really speak my truth. I felt like I was people pleasing in certain areas. I would stay silent just to not rock the boat. And so when I noticed these patterns, I started shifting in the way that I showed up for myself, in the way that I showed up in crowds, in a room, in relationships and dates. And so I stopped trying to get it right, because the more that I tried getting it right, the more disconnected I felt from myself. And the more disconnected I felt from myself, the more I attracted these relationships, these situationships that didn't match who I truly was or what I wanted for my life or for my future partnership, my marriage, right? So if this is you right now, take this reminder that it's not just about who notices you, it's about how you notice and honor yourself first. Because the more you notice what you desire, how you feel, like how you treat yourself, what you put up with, the more you are going to start noticing this is not what I want, or this is what I want, right? And what's more aligned with your truth. It's so powerful to notice. When you notice how you show up in a room, when you notice how you show up in your relationships, when you notice what version of you people get to meet, right? So noticing the things you keep tolerating is important. The energy you keep accepting and the patterns that you keep repeating. And it's so easy to get caught up in doing all the right things, right? Going to podcasts, going to talk therapy, like going to personal development seminars. I know in my 20s, I loved doing that. And it is important to grow and to stay busy and to do, again, like I said, the things that you love to do. But are you paying attention to the details of your life? Like what you're doing right now? Not just the good, but the things that you maybe are too busy to notice because you're so busy on your laptop or on your phone, or when you're walking around, you're not people watching, you're not noticing who's in front of you. Are you noticing how your nervous system responds around someone? Are you noticing how you dim your light when you're unsure if you're being too much, or, oh my God, am I saying things? Am I oversharing, right? Are you noticing how often you question your worth and like who you are just because you want to be the chill girl, right? Or you want to keep the vibe, or you want to be this like strong woman who shows like, oh, I don't care. She acts like she doesn't care. I'm an independent woman. I don't need a man, right? I've been in that place. And everything that you want is there. It's not far away, but you have to notice how you are showing up in the room and who's around in the room, who's watching this energy. Take a moment today when you go on a walk, on your hot girl walk, when you're in a coffee shop, just take a moment to pause. Notice what's unfolding, the energy that you give off. And this is a practice for yourself, not just so maybe your potential partner or husband who's watching is noticing you, right? But when I started noticing myself, for me, like, was I shrinking myself in a room? And when I started noticing, I asked myself this question: is this aligned with who I truly am and what I truly want? When I started going on dates before I met my husband, I'm like, is this aligned to the person that I want to spend my life with? The things that you want are on the other side of noticing and slowing down and being intentional. And now in motherhood, I get to give that to my son. I get to pause and be a present mom and a present wife. And so I challenge you to notice today.